In relationships, we've all been there. The moment when someone we care about hurts us. It's a sharp sting that cuts deep, leaving us torn between the urge to lash out or retreat in silence. But what if there was a way to handle this hurt, not with anger, not with revenge, but with something far more powerful? Imagine facing the situation with unwavering composure, responding with strength, dignity, and a calm that leaves everyone, especially her, thinking, how does he stay so unshaken? This isn't a fantasy or some kind of unattainable ideal. This is the power of Stoicism, a philosophy that's as ancient as it is relevant today. Stoicism teaches us not to be slaves to our emotions, but to master them, using reason and inner strength to navigate the storms of life. When you face hurt in a relationship, you don't have to crumble or explode. You can rise above it, becoming a better, stronger version of yourself. And that is the essence of the Stoic man's power move. What does this look like in real life? What does it mean to respond to pain, betrayal, or frustration with a calm demeanor that radiates strength and wisdom? And more importantly, how do you use this power to transform the way you interact with the people who matter most to you? In this article, we're diving into exactly that. How to harness the quiet yet undeniable force of Stoic principles to handle any emotional blow with grace and control. But here's the catch. This isn't just about surviving tough moments. It's about thriving through them. It's about making decisions that elevate you, not just in the eyes of others, but in your own eyes. When you respond like a Stoic, you don't just weather the storm, you become the calm at its center. Are you ready to master your emotions and step into your true power? Then keep reading, because the power move you've been searching for is just a mindset shift away. And if you find this valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your stories and how you plan to respond with Stoic strength. 1. Understand that you control only your response. Imagine this. You're caught off guard. She says something that hits a nerve, something that leaves you questioning her intentions. Your chest tightens, your mind races. The temptation to react immediately, emotionally, instinctively, is almost overwhelming. You want to shout, to demand an explanation, or perhaps to shut her out completely. But here's the secret. None of that matters. The first and most powerful lesson of Stoicism is this: you cannot control what others do. You can only control your response. Think about that for a moment. The very foundation of your emotional power lies not in how others behave, but in how you choose to react to it. What if, instead of being swept away by the rush of hurt, frustration, or anger, you stopped and took control of your own thoughts? What if you responded, not from a place of impulse, but from a place of complete mastery over your emotions? This is where the real power lies. It's easy to let the moment dictate your emotions, to fall victim to the situation and say things or do things you'll regret later. But a Stoic man knows that every emotional response is a choice, and he chooses wisely. The moment someone hurts you, it's not about their actions, it's about how you rise above it. Here's the kicker. Most people don't realize that when you let your emotions dictate your actions, you give up control. The anger, the hurt, the need to be understood, all of these things can overwhelm you, cloud your judgment, and leave you feeling powerless. But by shifting your focus back to your own response, you reclaim that power. The situation no longer controls you, you control the situation. So, how does this work in practice? Imagine her words or actions have stung you, and you feel the surge of anger rising within you. Instead of firing back with words that might make the situation worse, you take a deep breath. You pause. You remember that the only thing you can truly control is how you respond. The pause itself is a power move. It's not weakness, it's strength. The truth is, people's words and actions are a reflection of them, not you. Her behavior, no matter how hurtful, is her reality, not yours. And when you respond from a place of calm, you're not engaging in her drama. You're stepping out of the emotional fire and choosing to rise above it. That's the Stoic approach, refusing to be dragged down by the chaos of the moment. This doesn't mean you suppress your emotions or ignore your feelings. No. Stoicism teaches you to acknowledge your emotions, then choose to rise above them. When you master the art of responding calmly, you'll notice something incredible. The emotional chaos that once used to control you, it no longer has the same power. Instead, you'll be able to think clearly, speak with purpose, and maintain your dignity, no matter what comes your way. So, next time she hurts you, whether intentionally or not, remember this. Your power doesn't lie in what she does. It lies in how you choose to respond. And in that moment, you can choose to respond like a Stoic man, strong, calm, and in control of your emotions. That is your true power. 2. Practice emotional detachment. There's a moment in every relationship when the emotional temperature spikes, words are exchanged, feelings are hurt, and the storm of anger or sadness clouds your judgment. It's in these moments that you face a powerful crossroads. You can either let your emotions control you, or you can choose something far more extraordinary, emotional detachment. Now, before you misunderstand, emotional detachment isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's not about shutting off your heart or disconnecting from the person you care about. No, emotional detachment is a tool, a means of separating yourself from the immediate, overwhelming rush of feelings that threaten to hijack your peace. It's the difference between reacting from pure emotion and responding with wisdom. Think of it like this. You're caught in the middle of a conversation where she's said something hurtful, maybe something that feels like a direct blow to your ego, your character, or your worth. The natural instinct is to react, to defend yourself, to fight back. But what if, in that very moment, you made a decision, a powerful one, to step back, to detach emotionally from the situation? What would that look like? It would look like taking a breath. It would look like pausing before you respond. It would look like giving yourself a moment of clarity, a chance to separate the initial emotional reaction from the deeper, more rational response that you truly want to express. In that brief pause, you become the master of the situation. The chaos of emotion, the anger, the pain, the confusion, no longer has a stranglehold on you. You take back control. Here's the thing about emotional detachment. It's not about suppressing your feelings. The Stoic man understands that emotions are a natural part of being human. What it is about, however, is choosing not to be ruled by them. When you detach emotionally, you give yourself the space to process what's happening without being swept away by the immediate flood of reactions. Instead of acting impulsively, you give yourself the power to respond intentionally. Imagine this. You feel that rush of anger or sadness, but instead of letting it explode into words or actions you might regret, you step back. You remind yourself that these emotions are temporary. They do not define you. They are simply responses to external stimuli, and just like a storm, they will pass. You don't need to engage with them, fight them, or let them dictate your actions. When you practice emotional detachment, you gain a remarkable sense of freedom. The situation no longer controls you. You are free to choose how to respond, not out of defense or fear, but out of clarity and strength. The beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require you to abandon your emotions. It simply invites you to recognize that you are not your emotions. You are the one who decides how to interact with them. The power of emotional detachment doesn't mean you don't care. Quite the opposite. It shows that you care enough about yourself, your peace, and your relationships to respond with calm and wisdom, no matter what's happening around you. So next time she hurts you, whether with words or actions, don't let the emotional storm consume you. Detach, breathe, find your center, and from that place of stillness, respond as a Stoic man would, with clarity, strength, and a profound sense of peace that comes from knowing you control your response, no matter the chaos. 3. Reflect on the bigger picture. There's a moment in every relationship when a single word or action feels like a punch to the gut. You're angry, you're hurt, you can't believe she said that or did that. It's as if the entire weight of your connection is hanging by a thread, and in that instant, it feels like everything is falling apart. But what if I told you that in that very moment of emotional chaos, the most powerful thing you can do is not to act or speak, but to reflect on the bigger picture? It sounds simple, but it's a game-changing shift. When we're hurt, the immediate reaction is often to zoom in on the pain, the moment, the offense. But what if, instead of diving head first into the emotional flood, you pulled back? What if you took a step back from the situation and considered the larger context? This is where true Stoic power lies. Let's paint the picture. You've been hurt, and the emotion is raw, but instead of reacting immediately, you pause, you breathe, and you ask yourself, what does this moment mean in the grand scheme of my life? Is this disagreement or hurtful comment really a defining moment? Or is it a fleeting moment in a much larger story? This is the Stoics' approach to life. Perspective is everything. The Stoics knew that when you zoom in too closely on any single moment, you lose sight of the bigger picture. In relationships, this is especially true. In the heat of the moment, when her words or actions sting, it's easy to feel like this is the end of the world. It's easy to lose yourself in the drama, to believe that this one moment defines everything. But does it? By reflecting on the bigger picture, you create the space to recognize that this small incident, though painful, is just a speck in the vast landscape of your life and relationship. When you see things from this broader perspective, you can ask yourself, what's the real significance of this? How does it serve my long-term happiness? Most importantly, how can I learn and grow from this moment? Here's the truth. Every single relationship, even the most challenging moments, is an opportunity for growth. The hurt you feel, it's a mirror, reflecting not just what's happening between you and her, but also showing you something about yourself. What does this moment teach you about your values, your expectations, or your triggers? By reflecting on the bigger picture, you unlock the opportunity to grow beyond the pain. Imagine how powerful it would feel to step back from the immediate emotional whirlwind and approach the situation with the clarity of someone who understands that this moment isn't the end of the story. It's just a chapter you can rewrite with strength and wisdom. So next time you're hurt, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what's really at stake here? Will this matter in a year, in 5 years? Is this conflict a test of my character? When you see the bigger picture, you'll realize that this hurt doesn't have to define you. It can empower you to grow and become stronger, and in that powerful pause, you'll be the one standing tall, calm, and unshaken, while others around you get lost in the drama. 4. Focus on virtue, not vindication. The sting of betrayal, a hurtful word, an unkind gesture. There are moments in relationships that tempt you to lash out, to get back at the person who's hurt you. It's only natural, right? You want them to feel the same pain you felt. You want them to know how wrong they are. You want vindication. But what if I told you that pursuing that urge will only weaken you? What if the most powerful thing you can do in the face of hurt is to focus on virtue, not vindication? Picture this. You've just been wronged, and the world seems to narrow in on this moment of injustice. Every fiber of your being wants to respond, to strike back. The idea of making them feel the same sting, maybe even worse, feels almost satisfying. But here's the truth. The instant you give in to that impulse, you surrender your power. When you focus on vindication, you make the situation all about them. You let them control your emotions. You react out of anger, frustration, and the need for payback. But in doing so, you lose sight of what truly matters: your character, your integrity, and your peace. You let the hurtful words and actions of others define how you behave. But here's where the Stoic power move lies. You get to decide how you respond, regardless of what they do. Instead of seeking revenge, focus on what you can control: your virtues. The Stoics believed in living according to 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In the face of hurt, these virtues are your compass. Let's break this down. Wisdom. In moments of pain, it's easy to act rashly, to react without thinking. But a Stoic man chooses to pause, think, and make decisions with clarity. Wisdom guides you to ask, what is the best response here? Is seeking revenge truly the path to peace, or does it simply keep the cycle of hurt going? Courage. It takes immense courage to not lash out when every instinct is telling you to do so. True courage is found in restraint. The strength to hold your tongue, to rise above the situation, is the most powerful move you can make. Justice. True justice doesn't involve punishing the wrongdoer. It involves ensuring that you act in alignment with what is right, regardless of how others behave. If someone wrongs you, respond not out of a desire to balance the scales, but out of a commitment to doing what's just and fair to yourself. This means keeping your integrity intact. Temperance. This is the art of self-control. Temperance isn't about repressing your feelings, but about mastering them. Instead of giving in to the emotional wave, you regulate your response and maintain your inner balance. By focusing on these virtues, you turn the situation from one of emotional chaos to an opportunity for personal strength. You show not only the person who hurt you, but also yourself, that your character is not defined by how others treat you, but by how you respond. So next time she hurts you, whether with words, actions, or neglect, ask yourself, what is the virtuous response? How can I act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in this moment? The power doesn't lie in revenge. It lies in choosing to be a man of virtue, no matter what. And if this resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to level up your emotional mastery and navigate the challenges of life with Stoic strength. Comment below. How do you deal with hurt in relationships? And how do you plan to focus on virtue in your responses? 5. Develop resilience through adversity. There's an undeniable truth about relationships. They will test you. There will be moments when the weight of disappointment, hurt, or betrayal seems almost unbearable. In those moments, it's easy to feel like your world is falling apart. The pain feels overwhelming, and the temptation to let it break you is real. But here's where the Stoic power move kicks in. Adversity is not your enemy. It's your opportunity. Let's set the scene. You've been hurt. Maybe she said something that stung, or maybe her actions left you feeling betrayed. The natural reaction is to crumble, to let that hurt dictate your actions, to get lost in the pain. But the Stoic man understands something profound. It's in these very moments of adversity that your true strength is forged. Imagine for a second that instead of letting the pain consume you, you choose to rise. You choose to face the hurt with a different mindset. This is not a setback. This is a chance to grow stronger. Stoicism teaches us that the challenges we face, the obstacles and discomforts, are the very things that build our resilience. Just like a sword is forged in fire, Your character is shaped by the struggles you endure. This hurt is your forge. Here's where it gets powerful. Instead of letting hurt defeat you, you choose to use it as fuel. Resilience isn't built in moments of ease and comfort. It's built in the moments that test you, that push you to the edge. When she hurts you, it's not about avoiding the pain. It's about learning how to stand tall in the face of it. The Stoic man knows that adversity is not a sign of weakness. It's a call to rise. Let's break it down. Adversity comes in many forms. Hurtful words, misunderstandings, moments when you feel overlooked or unappreciated. But rather than seeing these moments as things to escape from, the Stoic sees them as a chance to refine his character. In each moment of hurt, he asks himself, how can I emerge from this stronger? He takes the sting of disappointment and uses it to become more patient, more understanding, more resilient. It's through adversity that he builds the very qualities that define his strength. But resilience doesn't come overnight. It's a muscle that grows stronger each time you choose to respond with grace instead of anger, calm instead of chaos. It's the willingness to face hardship head-on, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to become more than you were before. Each time you don't let hurt take root in your heart, each time you choose to stand tall instead of crumbling, you're building a stronger version of yourself, one that can weather even the most intense storms of life. Now, imagine walking through life with that kind of resilience, the ability to face challenges, hurts and setbacks with a steady heart and an unwavering mind. When you develop resilience through adversity, nothing can truly break you. You become unshaken, unmovable, and impossibly strong. So next time she hurts you, don't see it as a reason to shrink or retaliate. See it as an opportunity to grow stronger, to build the resilience that will carry you through every storm life throws your way. Because in the end, your strength is forged in the fire of adversity, and you, my friend, are unstoppable. 6. Avoid acting in the heat of the moment. We've all experienced it. That gut punch of emotion when someone you care about hurts you, be it a cruel comment, an insensitive action, or a feeling of being dismissed. The moment you feel that sting, the flood of emotions rushes in: anger, hurt, frustration. And in that split second, your mind is screaming at you to act, to respond, to do something. But here's where the real power lies. The Stoic man knows that the most powerful action is often the one you don't take. Imagine the scene. She says something that cuts deep. You feel your heart racing, your fists clenching, your thoughts spiraling. Every part of you wants to respond right now, to lash out, to defend yourself, or maybe even to shut down completely. But what if you didn't? What if instead of reacting in that explosive moment, you chose to step back, to take a deep breath, to give yourself space before responding? The truth is, when we act in the heat of the moment, we often give in to our raw, unchecked emotions. We become slaves to our anger, our pride, our frustration, and those emotions, in their intensity, don't always lead us to the best decisions. The Stoic approach is different. It's about not allowing your emotions to dictate your actions. Instead, it's about choosing to pause, reflect, and act from a place of calm, reason, and self-mastery. Now you might be thinking, but if I don't act right away, I'll lose my chance to be heard. You might worry that if you don't speak up in the heat of the moment, the hurt will fester, or you'll appear weak. Here's the paradox. By waiting, by choosing to pause and not respond impulsively, you're actually gaining the upper hand. In those few moments of space, you can gain clarity, avoid saying things you'll regret, and choose a response that reflects your true character, not just your emotional reaction. Think about it. When you act in the heat of the moment, you're often reacting to the offense itself, without considering the bigger picture. You're allowing the heat of the moment to control you. But when you take that pause, Whether it's a few seconds, a few minutes, or even a few hours, you are choosing to regain control. You put the power back in your hands, and instead of responding out of emotion, you respond with intention. The pause doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you allow yourself time to process them before you act. It's about finding your center, acknowledging the hurt, and then choosing a response that serves both you and the relationship in the long term. In those moments of emotional intensity, it's easy to forget that the situation will eventually pass, but your actions and words will remain long after the moment has gone. Stoicism teaches us that we can only control how we respond, not how others act. So next time the heat of the moment threatens to overwhelm you, remember, the true power lies in restraint. The strength to pause, to breathe, and to choose your response thoughtfully is the mark of a Stoic man. You're not weak by waiting. You're strong, wise, and in control. 7. Embrace the present moment. There's an almost magnetic force that pulls us toward the past, replaying every hurtful word, every missed opportunity, every mistake we've made. Similarly, the future often haunts us, filled with worries, anxieties, and what-ifs. But in the middle of all that noise, the Stoic man understands a profound truth. The only moment you have is now. Picture this. You've been hurt. The sting from her words lingers, and your mind starts to spiral. You replay the conversation, over-analyzing each word she said, each look she gave. You wonder if you could have done something differently, if you could have prevented this from happening. Your mind drifts to the past, and you find yourself drowning in regret and resentment. Now pause for a second. What's happening in that moment? You're not living in the present, you're trapped in the past, and by doing so, you allow the past to control your present reality. Here's the power move. Embrace the present moment. Instead of clinging to past hurts or future worries, the Stoic man focuses on the here and now. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or avoiding planning for the future. It means recognizing that the present moment is the only space where you have true control. Why is this so powerful? Because when you are consumed by the past or future, you lose sight of what's happening right in front of you. You become enslaved by thoughts that have no power over your current situation. The present is the only time where action can be taken, where you can change, where you can respond with clarity and purpose. Let's bring this to life. Let's say she's hurt you and your mind is racing through every painful memory. Stop, take a deep breath, and focus on the present moment. What do you feel? What is happening right now, in this very moment? By shifting your attention to the present, you take back control over your emotions and decisions. You stop being a prisoner of the past and start becoming the master of your current reality. When you embrace the present, you also free yourself from the fear and anxiety of what might come. The what-ifs of the future have no power over you in the now. You can act with confidence, knowing that all you need to do is handle this moment, this conversation, this decision. And when you respond from that place of clarity, you do so with the strength and wisdom of someone who is grounded in the present. But embracing the present moment also means being fully present with her. Rather than focusing on past wrongs or projecting future fears, you engage in the conversation, the situation, or the relationship with complete awareness. You listen, you understand, you react not from your past baggage, but from a space of present calm. So, the next time you feel the weight of past hurts or future worries pulling at you, remember, the present moment is your power. The Stoic man knows that by living fully in the now, he is not only able to respond with clarity, but also to transform any situation into an opportunity for growth and peace. And if this resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to master your emotions and navigate life's challenges with stoic strength. Comment below. How do you bring yourself back to the present moment, and what has helped you let go of the past? 8. Let go of attachment to outcomes. We all want things to go a certain way. We hope for specific outcomes in our relationships, in our lives, and in the situations we find ourselves in. And when things don't go as we expect, we often feel frustrated, angry, or defeated. The Stoic man, however, understands a profound secret. True power comes when you let go of your attachment to specific outcomes. Imagine this. You've put yourself out there. You've been vulnerable, invested time and energy, and have allowed your hopes to rise. And then, boom. She says something that shakes you. Maybe she doesn't reciprocate your feelings the way you thought she would. Maybe she acts in a way that leaves you feeling rejected, overlooked, or hurt. And just like that, the outcome you wanted slips through your fingers. The temptation is to feel defeated, angry, or betrayed. But here's the key. Your frustration is not because of the outcome itself, but because you were too attached to it. This is where the Stoic shift happens. The Stoic man doesn't expect life to bend to his desires. He doesn't waste his energy fighting against what's outside his control. Instead, he focuses on what he can control, his response to the situation and his mindset. The Stoic approach is about releasing the need for things to unfold in a particular way, because he knows that attachment to outcomes creates suffering. Think about it. How often have you set yourself up for disappointment because you were attached to a specific result? Whether it's expecting someone to behave a certain way, wanting things to play out according to your plan, or hoping for a particular reaction, attachment to outcomes clouds your judgment and traps you in frustration. You begin to see the situation as a failure when, in fact, it's only a failure if you refuse to see it as an opportunity for growth. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean giving up hope. It means releasing the need to control every single detail. It's about accepting that life will unfold as it will, and that's okay. It's about embracing the reality that you can't always dictate what happens next, but what you can control is how you react to what life throws your way. Here's the game-changing part. When you stop obsessing over the outcome, you free yourself from the anxiety, disappointment, and bitterness that come with unmet expectations. Instead of forcing a specific outcome, you begin to focus on the journey itself. You act with purpose and integrity, knowing that your value doesn't depend on how others respond or how things unfold. Your worth isn't tied to a particular result. For example, maybe you've had an expectation that a certain conversation with her would go perfectly. You pictured it in your mind, everything going smoothly, feeling understood and connecting deeply. But when the conversation doesn't go as planned, you're hurt. The Stoic response: detach from the outcome. Recognize that this conversation was just one moment, and it doesn't define the entirety of your relationship or your life. By focusing on how you handled the situation with grace, calm, and maturity, you can walk away feeling empowered, not defeated. So, the next time you feel yourself getting caught up in what should have happened, remember, true freedom comes when you let go of attachment to the outcome. Embrace the process. Trust that whatever happens is an opportunity for growth and resilience. And above all, know that your worth is not contingent on any one moment or interaction. You are free to be your best self, regardless of the outcome. And if this resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how to navigate life's challenges with a Stoic mindset. Comment below. How have you let go of attachment to outcomes in your own life, and what difference has it made for you? Conclusion: embrace your Stoic power. As we've explored today, The Stoic man understands that life is unpredictable, relationships can be challenging, and hurt is inevitable. But with each of these moments comes the opportunity to grow, to strengthen your character, and to take control of your reactions. By embracing power, moves like reflecting on the bigger picture, focusing on virtue, developing resilience through adversity, and letting go of attachment to outcomes. You don't just survive life's challenges, you master them. Remember, true strength isn't about being unshaken by hurt or criticism. It's about choosing your response with wisdom, grace, and integrity. The Stoic path isn't about avoiding emotions, but about gaining mastery over them. It's about responding to life's difficulties with a calm, clear mind and a steady heart.